Da, 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 da. It started, Stuart. Explosion.
Yay! Welcome back, everybody. How's it going? I'm Captain Foley.
I'm Commander Collins, and today we are looking at the second of the chapters of The Mandalorian, the first live-action TV show in the Star Wars universe. Getting to see the whole format, the formula of the Star Wars verse done totally differently.
That's right.
Does it not work? Who the hell knows? We'll talk about what we think tonight.
That's right. And it's only 31 minutes tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, well, the one we're reviewing will probably go longer, but anyway. So welcome back, everybody. Hopefully you've been watching. If you haven't, I apologize. There will be spoilers. So, yeah, that's all I can say.
As you would expect from a review of our sort. Full spoilers, full discussion, hopefully scene by scene, bit by bit. Well, I think there's less talk about in this one than last one. I think it's fair to say.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, but some cool stuff nonetheless.
Yes, and a good ride. I think it's kind of like one word, very quick review before we get into the brief review portion. My ultra brief review.
Mr. Oz 8472 says, "Everyone get in here. Trekkies are doing Star Wars again." Well, we're not just Trekkies. We like all sci-fi, and we have our other show, Fleet Yards. This is kind of like a Fleet Yard special, even though it does say Trek Yards on our Alcars, but that's okay.
Graphics Guy's birthday is now, so
yes.
He's back next week.
All hail Samuel. Samuel has spoken. See, we got a lot of.
It's a good catchphrase. It's a good catchphrase for the new dude.
Yes.
No, I mean, no, I don't think we're just Trekkies. I mean, you know, a massive love for Transformers and other such. And obviously, you know, a Battlestar Galactica costume, a Farscape costume, several Stargate costumes. So, you know, Trekkies, yes, everything else as well.
Yes. It's sci-fi, and we love good entertainment. So there you go.
Would you say Star Wars is in your sort of like top 5 of other sci-fi properties?
Oh yeah, easily.
Yeah.
I
assume so.
If not number 2, it would be Star Trek then Star Wars. So.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you talk to the fine folks. I will share.
You're gonna leave me alone with them? Ooh. All right, guys. I'm so nervous now because I'm all alone by myself talking to y'all. How you doing? Everybody, make sure you hit the like button, and don't forget, if you want to help us out, you can do so by super chatting. Super chat is a great way to get your comment read, your question answered, get your voice out there for everybody to see. It's highlighted, and it's super cool, and it's super chat, and it's super, and it comes up in a separate window. So we will get to all the super chats, obviously. The regular chat, we do try to talk to everybody, or most people in there, but super chat is a great way to help us as well. And with the kind of uncertainty of YouTube right now, another great way to help us would be Patreon. Our lives do a lot. They help us out quite a bit, but Patreon is the place to go to really help us out on a monthly basis, or just send us a donation via PayPal as well. All the relative links to all that cool stuff is down in the description of every video, so check it out. And also some other cool stuff down there as well. You'll find links to our Teespring store. We've got Trek Yards merchandise and a whole bunch of other stuff that helps out the channel. And it helps you guys out as well, because you can save money off Eagle Moss ships and things like that. So, so that being said, hopefully you guys will be generous this evening and help us out with the super chats. So, yeah, I mean, the Mandalorian Chapter 2 is here, and damn, it was short. But you never know. And Bill Barkley says, I don't think it will affect Trek Yards, meaning Copa, the whole YouTube thing that's going on right now. And it might, because, you know, we've talked about Transformers and a few other things on Fleet Yards, and that's kid friendly and all that bullshit. But we'll see how it goes. Hopefully everything will be fine. But yeah, as of December 10th, I think, is when everything really kicks into gear, and we'll have to see. It's kind of uncertain times. So if you can help us out via PayPal or Patreon, or even just super chatting, it's all beneficial to the channel. So if you want to see us on the regular and not have us go away, just help us out if you can. So there you go.
And do check out our end of this month sort of post about our finances, because you guys can help us out to make this month go. Like the pack lids, help us go.
Yes, help us go.
Yes.
We are smart. I mean, you are smart. You are generous. We are smart. Help us go. I guess, maybe. I don't know.
And what's not smart is my I've got some starting problems tonight, so expect me to dip out for a few little bits and bobs. Trying to keep on top of that. I'll probably jump out after our pre-review and you can give your thought. But Stuart, what do you think overall? Your sort of bit review of episode 2 or chapter 2, The Child. Didn't realize they were subtitled. I thought.
Well, this is named after one of the worst episodes of TNG, so it's head and shoulders above that for sure. This one I really enjoyed. I think more so than the first one.
Wow.
The first one, the ending of the first one was really great with the IG-11 unit.
Mm-hmm.
But this one, I think there's a lot more fun to be had in this one. A lot less dialogue, obviously, as well, but I think it works well, and you get to see some cool stuff that I didn't really expect to see. Because this is kind of like a side quest. If you're playing a video game, this is one of the side quests. Removed from the main storyline, I guess. So yeah, and some questions come up in this one as well, which I'm not sure everybody's noticed, but we'll kind of talk about
part
those.
of the fun, isn't it? Yeah,
Exactly.
we talked last week about, last week, but just that this one is very much. It could have been. Was it really 2 episodes? There's meant to be a longer pilot, and it kind of feels like it's a very 1 second after part 2. It's certainly the less action packed of the two. It's got less in it, but also it revels in the zone, the vibe, the atmosphere more than the first one, which kind of gave you bits and then moved bits and moved. This is very focused. I love the amount of breath it lets you just cool, and you can feel the long run time, even if they're short episodes. The long run time of the multiple episode arc gives it a good vibe, and obviously the payoff for the fun payoffs as well. So it's good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's as good as necessarily the first one, because that had a lot of bits and pieces to pull on. This kind of has 3 set pieces, and they're all great. But it doesn't. You need another scene, or 6 more minutes to hit 40. I needed the first thing on the next world. Do the Star Trek Discovery season 2 technique, where the episode's okay, but you throw us the at the end. It kind of needed that. Almost would have worked. Get to the next planet and then have a cool cliffhanger. That probably would have helped us, I think. But obviously, this finishes the first act. The next 1, 2, 3, however many will be the next sort of chapter, even though there are chapters. But I liked it. It was good. It was a fun ride, and it's nice to be so interested in it that I definitely want to know more. I want to watch more. I want to hear more. They've got me in within an hour and 20. I'm like, yes, keep it coming.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Certainly more than Last Jedi. I think I was bored at this point in Last Jedi, an hour and 20, and I was like, this is why I'm watching this. So
yeah. No, I agree with all of that as well. Jeff Jacobs puts in $5. Thank you, Jeff. Much appreciated. I rewatched Last Jedi, and I think Mandalorian is better in pretty much every way. So excited to see it continue. Oh yeah, make me pay. Hit like. I have spoken. I included the I have spoken because he added it right afterwards. So I mean, it suits. And that's gonna. I've already seen memes of it everywhere.
Oh yeah.
Just after the last one, there was a meme. The episodes are too short. I have spoken. So.
Well, it's kind of it feels like the Star Wars. This Mandalorian's "I'll be back."
Yeah.
It's like it was thrown in as a sort of a clever little as a character thing that actually people latched onto. Because it didn't need to be a catchphrase. But it works tremendously well as one.
Yeah.
Well, I'll ask you, did you think anything was going to happen that happened this week? Obviously, you've got the cliffhanger. Did it go where you thought it might have gone? Was it full of surprises? Were you left in the lurch? Did it feel disconnected? How was it then as a sort of continuation of the part 1?
It definitely felt separate from part 1. It didn't go any way that I anticipated, to be honest. But I really enjoyed the sidetrack they took. Yeah. A few of them. It was a side quest and a side quest, and I think it worked well. Plus, we got some startling reveals, I guess. Even though most people probably kind of expected some of this to happen. But yeah, we'll get there when we get there. Mr. Oz 8472 puts in 10 HRK, which I'm not sure what that is, but
That's
thank you.
Croatian Kerner. That's £1.50. £1.15 was about $2 ish.
Ooh, Croatian. I know
Cool.
about the Croatians.
Thank you.
Sylvia's a Croatian.
My time zone, yay.
Yay.
I think.
Yeah. I have spoken and Baby Yoda are trending. Curtis Simpkins throws in 150. Thank you very much, Curtis. Yeah, the Baby Yoda thing. There's even a meme that I shared, which was like, we know it's not Yoda because it happens after Return of the Jedi, but what else are we going to call him? Mr. Baby of a species that hasn't been named yet.
Yep.
So what did you guys expect? And it might be Yoda. It might be a clone of Yoda, but it's still not Yoda. It's just a clone of Yoda. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Like the person.
Yeah, I'm kind of annoyed that people spoiled the a dude's patch that you never saw clearly enough is therefore cloning patch and therefore all clones. It's like, that's like a reveal in episode 7 that they revealed because someone was idiotic enough to, all the patch and stuff. Well, that was headphones. That was a shame.
Well, you're supposed to know. You're supposed to know all. You're supposed to know all the Star Wars lore. But
it's not as if the guy, did this to the camera. So anyway, I mean, I'm it was a deciphered fact. It's like when it is the same as when we zoomed in on the magazine of the Discovery Bridge, and we zoomed in and we knew it said ISS, not USS. Like, that was a complete, we read into it way too much, and because of that, we worked out a massive plot point, Yeah.
Michael Elliott, though, throws in $5. Thank you very much. Jawas are gangstas. Yeah, I guess so.
I mean, were Jawas done well?
What's that, sorry?
I mean, were Jawas done well? Jawas got a big presence. What do you think? Were they done well?
I think so, but I think there's some changes for these ones. They obviously wear black cloaks instead of brown, and they have red eyes instead of yellow or orange. So I don't know if it's a different clan, but they obviously are the same because they speak the same language. They actually mention Jawa. They actually have the same sandcrawler, which is called a mobile fortress, which I never really considered before. And little Easter egg, the dashboard of it is kind of modeled after the toy. I never had the toy, but I've heard from people that the actual instruments and stuff that they have on there that are modeled after that. So we never saw the inside of one in Star Wars. So I mean, I think that's pretty cool.
Oh, it was great, and it never occurred to me the brown and I'm looking orange, yellow, and brown. But my assumption is Jawas weren't native to Tatooine.
I always thought they were. I always thought they were, and they didn't have space travel. They were just So I didn't assume they'd be on other planets. Maybe a few of them, hopped on a ship or whatever, but to have a whole sandcrawler on this other planet is, and we don't even know what planet this is really. This could be Tatooine, as far as we know. So
I mean, I think that would be lazy. I mean, or is the mystery factor part of the? Well, it could be. Who the hell knows? But Jawas are scavengers, but you can imagine they went out to scavenge cool bits, other parts of the whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the Sandclaws used to be their ships 100 years ago. They spread out and then they all got stuck because they weren't going to building, just scavenging. I don't know.
Well,
let me look at Wikipedia. Wikipedia seems there actually.
We have a PayPal from Judge 1981. That's the message.
Yeah.
It says from Judge 1981, and he gave us $40. So thank you
wow.
very much. That really helps out.
Wow.
More than you realize this month.
Yes.
Let's put it that way, especially right before Christmas. So
yes. So the Wikipedia, who is I always think of them as a bit more close than Memory Alpha, a smidge. Wikipedia says their classification is humanoid, and homeworld Tatooine and Avrala 7. Wow.
Oh.
What luck is that? Avrala 7 was a planet of the galaxy. No shit. Out of the way world. Avrala 7 was frequently visited by criminals and mercenaries. The Urgonaut Keel worked out as vapor farmer. Seems a peaceful life. Jawas also lived on the world traveling its deserts in Sandcrawler. Basically, it's just from the Mandalorian. It's like, wow, so they just added. So it was from Tatooine. And Avrala 7. Really? Wow.
Oh, okay, I see. So this is not Tatooine. This is Valhalla 7.
Yes. But basically, they didn't
Was
think
that
about
ever
it.
said though? I think we would
No.
have caught that.
No.
That's one of those things you need to know. You need to be in the know to know that. And
Yeah.
from watching it, you know.
There was no Rogue One style planet name. Yeah.
Which would be helpful, or even just line dialogue, or the computer navigation computer, pull it up and have the little name there. That'd be cool. But yeah.
That'd be cool.
Anyway. Well, let's get this thing started.
Okay. Dip.
Started with some little lizards, which are cool, but then we see the Mandalorian and Baby Yoda just wandering through this cave-like cavernish thing. Not really a cave, but you know what I mean. And Baby Yoda's being cute, but they get attacked.
Although we get all these different creatures like coming around Baby Yoda, now that we know the scene later on, implying that maybe they sense what it is and kind of like because Baby was like
Maybe.
I know the hello.
I never considered that at all.
Oh, I didn't until rewatching it. I mean, why else would you highlight it? I'm getting the sense maybe that life forms are just intuitively noticing it as a a unique entity. Metachlorians and Force stuff do. Yeah, and this was also the fight.
You said doo-doo.
No. This was the fight from the trailer.
Yes.
Relatively good. I think it's better for its context than for actual choreography. If that makes sense. What we learn about it.
Yeah, and a lot of people say, "What did we learn from it?" Well, we'll get to that in just a second. But one of the things I really like is how he shoves Baby Yoda out of the way, and Baby Yoda's sitting up, and all of a sudden falls back as soon as the thing stops. I thought that was hilarious. But yeah, so he's fighting these. I suppose these are the same creatures as Bosk, the same race.
I think so. Yeah, just obviously a different variant.
Yeah. And takes on a few of them, and of course he's a Mandalorian, so he does very well hand-to-hand melee combat. And he does, I believe, end up vaporizing one of them. Yes, he does. And I gotta love the vaporization. That's really cool. It's kind of a cross between Blade killing a vampire and the Thanos snap. But one of the little nuggets that was left behind is one of the trackers. Which I didn't catch the first time, and when I saw it the second time, I'm like, that's interesting. Does that mean that these guys were also sent by probably the same person or the same faction that sent IG-11 with orders to terminate? Perhaps because they all have the bounty trackers, which we still don't know how those work, but it's cool.
Well,
or the fob, I guess it's called.
Yeah, well, exactly. That's why it's cool. First, the disintegration was cool. I love it's 1 to 100. It's like, oh wow, so it's straight disintegrating him. Not gonna interrogate him to find out why, who. No, just gonna vaporize. But it was cool. And it's interesting. He has his axe, and he literally is going to slice him. So obviously they have the order to kill. Although the fact that these guys never attempt to blast a Mandalorian, although I guess Well, there's a lack of intelligence, these bounty hunters, really,
But the first time I watched it, the reason I didn't think they were bounty hunters is just because they're the same species that he fought off to get Baby Yoda in the first place. So I just assumed they were survivors.
No, they're not.
Yeah, there were a few of these. There were a few of those there as well.
But they weren't the primary species. They were like...
No. But we did see a few of them in that fight. So I just assumed they were part of that faction that were either left in the building or out on having lunch or something. What happened, and they're trying to get their Baby Yoda back.
They went to they went to Panda Express and came back. It was a drop their food like, what happened, Jeff?
Where's the egg? Oh my god!
They're all dead. All 133 of our friends. How? Yeah. Sorry, I just want to make a joke.
Yeah. So yeah, I assumed that they were just part of that at the beginning, but then when I rewatched it and I saw the fob, I was like, okay, so it could be that they're also bounty hunters as well.
Hmm.
So not really cleared up yet. Probably will be at some point. But I mean, what do you guys think? Do you think it's something that just leftover mercenaries, or was it actual bounty hunters sent to eliminate the target?
And Curtis Simpkins asks, this might be a dumb question, is this the new Star Wars TV series? Yes, it's the new Star Wars TV series.
Yes.
Yes. Now, the reason that we know they're not the same creatures as in the same faction that was protecting it is because he tries to stab Baby Yoda in the face. So that already tells us it's a different faction because they were protecting it, gave their entire life for it. And also the fob, which was the same one that actually the Mandalorian used, the exact same one.
Yeah.
And I'm also thinking that because, as we said at the start, how on earth is a fob able to find him? That if the Yoda is a clone, then they're detecting and knowing, how to find it by some sort of DNA signature, or not Kelpians, Metachlorians. I mean, there could be a very very literal way of detecting it. But I'm gonna pop out for a second, but I will be able to listen. So here's sort of a good wide shot of the scene, so you can go through the next scene. Say what you think. I'm back in a moment. Thanks.
All right, cool. So guys, 71 people watching. Everybody make sure you hit like. Let's get those likes up to at least 50. I got to make Jeff pay, even though he's already paid $5, which is very generous. So thank you very much, Jeff. Much appreciated. And if you guys can super chat, please do so. It all helps us out in the end. And it'll keep bringing you our content to you guys. So if you can help us out, please, please, please do so. Yeah, the next scene is after the fact. I guess there's no campfire, but he's got a little bit of a heater or a light there, and he obviously got some damage and injury from his encounter with these mercenaries, bounty hunters, whatever you want to call them, and he's taking care of that. Now I can't scroll through the pictures because Samuel is incommunicado at the moment, but he'll be right back. But yeah, basically, he's trying to heal himself, and we see little baby Yoda get up, which I did not expect. I did not expect Yoda to be able to get out of that thing and walk over, but it was very cool. And he was reaching up with his little 3-fingered hand, the long prosper, to reaching for the injury on the bounty hunter, and yeah, the bounty hunter's like, "Oh, what are you doing out?" And he puts him back, and then the baby comes back and tries to do it again, and the Mandalorian just doesn't. At this point, doesn't realize that he's probably trying to help. He just thinks he's a kid and puts him back in again. So Curtis says he's going to try to send more next payday. Well, don't worry, Curtis. Every little bit helps, so don't feel stressed about that. If you can't afford it, it's fine. We totally understand that. So Jess Jacob says at least 2 parties want him, 1 dead and alive, or dead or alive, and 1 dead. Yeah. Sam should know better than to eat tacos before a show. He did get up and walk. Yes, he did. I didn't expect that. We didn't see him hop out of the thing. We saw a view from inside the little, I guess we'll call it a stroller, where he sits up, and then the next scene he's walking over. So we didn't actually see him get out of it, but yeah. I mean, he could have used the Force and levitated down. Who knows? Manda will be keeping Baby Yoda safe. I think that will be the storyline this season. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Space bassinet. There you go. A spacinet, we'll call it. Wonder if Mando knows about the Force. It seems a lot of people think the Force is a myth. Yeah, because even later after, the Force has been used, and he's explained it to Nick Nolte, the guy who's spoken guy. I'm sorry, I don't know their names. He's like, explain it to me one more time. I don't understand. And the Mandalorian's like, neither do I. But they know about the Force, but they assume that something so young and innocent couldn't do that. It makes sense because usually, you come into those powers later, like early, not early teens, kind of just before that, because you see all the younglings in the prequels, and they're not toddlers by any means, but they are definitely not yet teenagers, and we know that you got to collect the Force users at a certain age to be able to train them. So he did get out twice, Ozzy. Yes. Mando isn't his actual name though, right? No, it's not. He does have a name. I just can't think of it. It's like 3 letters. I can't remember. Somebody will tell us, I'm sure. And the baby is 50. Yes, he is, but they age differently. He definitely looks like a little infant. So you could just have a longer. It's usually the longer or the more dominant a species is, the longer their childhood is, because humans have to take care of their offspring for quite a long time, and we are the most dominant species on the planet. Whereas other animals, they give birth and the baby just wanders off and does its own thing. Sometimes it follows the mothers for a year or so, like with bears. So it depends on how much time is needed for the young. A lot of times young are just hatched from eggs and the parents left behind, so they never even know their parents. They just hatch and start doing their things. So Din Djarin, Din I don't know how to pronounce it, but that's his name. There you go. DYN. Jawas eat large egg. Yes, they do. Star Wars Disney Store is going to be selling that egg cradle with a stuffed Baby Yoda soon. It doesn't surprise me at all. This is discussed many times, but when it said there's just around 10,000 Jedi and 2 Sith, the chance of seeing a focuser in the galaxy with billions of people is almost non-existent. Exactly. Yoda did live to at least 900. Yes, he did. Even those of us that can't watch the episode can't hide from that event. Yeah, I feel bad for the people that can't actually watch it. I mean, I got Disney Plus on all my devices, so I can watch it anytime, anywhere. I feel bad for ones that can't.
Question for you, though.
Oh, yes.
How much physical puppet versus CGI for Baby Yoda?
That's tough, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have no idea. I think there's a good mix of both.
Yeah.
But it's
good.
It's very well done CG for sure. But I wouldn't even hazard a guess. It could all be CG. I don't know.
I would hazard a guess.
Okay.
I say 75% is real miniature, real puppets. Just for pure, like, I mean, it's quite limited movement, but it's also baby. Like, it's the perfect subject for miniature work. It can't move much.
Yeah.
It's got the moments it does, and it's so small in the scene that it needs less. And sorry.
It's so cute. It's so cute.
They did a great job, really, in terms of the artistry. And this scene's nice because it's one of those things that it wouldn't be this simple in a feature film. You'd think, oh, it's too boring for audiences. But in a thing like this, you're just like, there's so much atmosphere in this. It shows he's alone. Mm-hmm. He's hurt. He's healing as he knows how. But he's not really prepared for this because he's used to fighting, as we know in the last episode, bounties that can't really win back. He's not used to losing in this way. So he's not really prepared to heal himself. He's got this thing to protect, but he's not really sure of how to do that either. So there's a nice little... I think my favourite thing about this episode was actually the fact that in episode 1, this Mandalorian chap, and again, I don't know his name either.
Din Djarin. D-Y-N is his name.
There you go. He was so invulnerable, apart from, near the end. He was so skillful and sleek and bum. In this episode, he is bitch slapped throughout. He is at the end, he's lost a substantial amount of his armor, which shows it's just running at certain things, but it really humanizes him that he's not this killing machine. He is this person in this armor. I can see him near the end of the season being very limited in what he can do anymore, and having to use more and more his base training, his base skills, his base thought processes to kick ass. So I was like, that's a great aspect to bring that is weak.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I thought it was interesting in the first episode where he got the Beskar steel and they made the new shoulder thing for him. I think that's going to be an ongoing thing. He's just eventually going to get more and more armor pieces as the series progresses, which I think would be very cool. An evolving character, look-wise. So, but yeah, I do like the fact that Baby Yoda gets out and tries to reach up and help him heal.
Yeah.
You can tell he's trying to help, but the Mandalorian doesn't understand this. It's just oh, this kid's getting out.
Well, this baby.
Does it twice. Yeah.
He's not even to the point of knowledge if you're a baby. But this is a great scene for asking questions. It's like, well, what is he trying to do? What might he do? What can he do? Because you can't just force. Only in the games can you force heal. You know, that's not really a concept in the movies. So it's a great little, scene. It's good. Good scene.
And I do like the fact that the Mandalorian armor, the chest piece, has circuitry in it. We saw when they put the shoulder thing on too, there was a flashing light. So I don't know what that does necessarily. Is it like a shielding system? Some kind of energy shield that accompanies the armor?
Yeah, I don't know.
But
again, in the video games, mostly you use them in the Knights of the Republic games. When you fight Mandalorians, you wear their armor sometimes. You always have a kinetic sort of energy barrier as well. It's just energized armor. So I would assume, or maybe something as simple as it connect, like the understanding of how weak your armor's getting, that it's all connected, sort of like a grid of it's like circuitry to make the armor almost like a skin, so he knows with this armor piece is 58% integrity left.
Damage,
yeah, because that'd be useful if you're out in the field, and if if he never gets out of his armor, being the armor is just another skin would be almost more important than having the armor. But it was cool. It's again more questions asked in this scene, and boy, I'm having to upgrade the brightness level because it's very dark.
I know. That's another complaint I have, but whatever.
But yeah.
So he gets back to his ship, and I was like, "Oh, you're kidding me! This is like me coming back from like dinner or a concert, walking around the corner into the parking lot and seeing my Camaro up on blocks, windows missing, all the light covers taken off, dashboard ripped out. Oh, for the love of God!" There would be a lot more swearing than the Mandalorian does once he starts inspecting the ship, but once we haven't got to that part yet.
Yeah, that is one complaint this episode. He doesn't say enough. That's one complaint. He doesn't do enough dialogue wise.
Yeah.
There aren't all positives.
His character though, I think,
But they balanced it so well last week. This week the balance wasn't quite there. But yeah, I actively went at this point. So it was great. It was fun. I really liked it.
I was seeing the Jawas get disintegrated too, and they all start like scrambling.
Yeah.
And the one guy's like firing away. Poof. Just like a rabbit getting hit with a 50 cal. Just boom. Nothing left.
This guy does not exist anymore.
No disintegrations. I guess maybe that's a disintegration gun.
Oh yeah.
Because Bill Barkley just said no disintegrations, which is what Vader, of course, said to Boba Fett in Empire Strikes Back. So they must have I thought it was just Boba Fett that maybe had a reputation for that, but maybe it's the standard Mandalorian weapon.
Well, it's just how guns can do. I thought it was a bit odd though that he actually had to reload.
Well, that's attaching it to the Western vibe again, like a shotgun or like one of the long range rifles. I do like the fact that those things on his legs and stuff are actually shells that are useful instead of just for looks.
Yeah.
But yeah, I assume maybe one of those is like an energy charge and can get maybe depending on the amount of like if you're using disintegration to get 2 shots out of it. If you're using like stun or just electrocute like it did for that big sea serpent, maybe get like 10 out of one of the cartridges. That would be cool.
Yeah, because we know that like the blasters the stormtroopers use, that side little rectangle is a power pack. I mean, they use power packs. But it felt very odd to have to reload after each shot, especially considering his plan is to kill individually the 26 Jawas and then walk in and also shoot all of it. Seems there's a lack of plan in this episode that doesn't quite work with the high concept of expert trained killer, because he has no strategy in this scene. Obviously you'd shoot the door mechanism of the sandcrawler so it couldn't close, and then you'd shoot the window of the bridge, and you do smart things. I don't see why this strategy, or try and stun all of them quickly, ninja style. Boo, 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 boo. So it seems very gluttonous to disintegrate for the lols. and then let them
Well,
go.
that being said, he did a strategic shot at the sandcrawler as he was running after it. He hit one of the units on the back. It started to, so I thought that would like slow it down or stop it at some point. Didn't seem to have any effect because it wasn't followed up on at all. But I thought that was a great idea. Shoot the fuel tank so that they can only go so far, so you can catch up to them eventually.
I was assuming you do that first, rather than a short-term plan. And waste your ammo, because if you have limited ammo, it's even more important. But I mean, to see a full group of Jawas was nice, and obviously you could call this fan service, but you say, right, we're gonna have the ship need to be, we need to have him stuck here for an extra episode. How do we do that? Well, is it a fault? Is it a sandstorm? Oh, well, if it gets robbed by robbers, let's have him to be Jawas. Okay, like there's the logical progression there that isn't just, forced, and it lets you have a really nice bit of extra Jawa culture stuff, and it's cool. I thought it was well done. And the Sandcrawler looked brilliant. I thought it was a really great 3D model.
Yeah.
Excellent.
And Real Proto Mike says it might be a modular weapon that fires different rounds depending on your needs. That makes sense. The ones on the belt are different than the ones on the chest. They're different than the ones on the foot. Like whatever you need, you can access. And maybe the foot ones are long range, because he was quite far away at that point. So it was more like a sniper rifle as opposed to a...
I mean, you are right. They are still power packs. Like, they're still just a charge. But maybe the leg ones, like the reserve ones, have like 20% more juice that can do things that far. But I mean, that was such a nice reveal to see the ship being taken apart. I was like, it was good.
Yeah. But yeah, then he starts chasing after it. He shoots that unit on the back, which starts venting something. I thought that would come in, but it didn't. So, but you can get a real sense. I mean, you've seen sandcrawlers in Star Wars. You know the sense of scale. But with him running up beside it, the thing is huge. It's massive, and then all the Jawas, all the little panels that they can pop their heads out of and like throw things at them. And yeah, there's a heavy Indiana Jones Last Crusade reference here, where Indiana Jones on the side of the tank. He's actually, his strap is attached to the thing, and they like try to drive him into the rocks, and he rolls up on in Indiana Jones, he rolls on the treads. But it's the exact same scene pretty much, where they aim for the rocks. And that was really well done. I thought that was really cool.
Well, it's nice to have the Jawas not feel like absolute idiots, because they shouldn't be absolute idiots.
Yeah, exactly.
Although the rock thing is done, I thought Titanic vibe, where like it's it's just a thing that happens. But then you ask why are they just dropping things, not shooting him. Again, there's a few lack of strategy things in this episode that I guess you could say they're trying to pad it. Like it was a really good sequence, especially that he's flinging Jawas out quite viciously, and they die with a little bit of muster of, oh no, they got killed. It's like, yep. John Favreau said, I want to kill 3 Jawas.
I just want to see a Jawa without its hood on. I want to see what they look like.
Yeah.
But yeah, he basically they're whipping stuff at him to knock him off the side. And I loved little baby Yoda just like cruising along after him, because like it's still attached to whatever to follow him.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that was kind of a stupid idea, considering you throw some Jawas off, which might not die. I thought they might end up swiping baby Yoda at some point, because
that's what they do.
Well, they try.
Well, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's what Jawas do. Okay, I know what you mean. But yeah, I mean, anyway, it's pretty good action scene, and he's even like lassoed onto the gun, or no, it's not a gun, it's something
hoist thing. I don't know.
Yeah, which the Jawas are knocking off, and I love how, and it's the typical fake out for every movie. Did he fall? Looks over the edge. Nope. Pulls the Jawa down. And then gets to the top, and you see all the Jawas, and I'm thinking, Mandalorian has some trick up his sleeve. Nope. He gets zapped by all of them, and goes stiff and just falls back. And damn, that's a long fall. Right on his back. So you're right. He gets his ass handed to him multiple times this episode.
But it really does do good for him.
Yeah, I guess.
Weirdly, I think that ups the character a lot.
Yeah, and I think you see a progression of how injured he is too, because after
Oh, yeah.
the next thing, he's like limping back.
Yep. Yep.
Which is good. Shows he's not, superhuman or invulnerable. He's just a guy trying to do his thing.
I mean, you've got to come from some adversity to make it mean anything.
Yeah.
You need to. But this is like I said, there's a weird sequence because they don't purpose fight. Poking with sticks is not impressive. Why would you think that was going to work? But then you realise, okay, they're allowing him to get to the top because that's the ambush. They're waiting rather than doing it, almost missing. They're like, well, wait for him to get up. Then we'll zap him 19 times. Then he probably won't come back from that. So that was a really fun little moment. And they have blasters, but they have EMPs. That's their thing. And his armor is still circuitry based. So I thought that was a nice little, perfect strategy, and it's still a non-lethal. I was wondering, would this actually disable his armor like permanently, or for the next like episode or two? It doesn't. But I was kind of like, oh.
I don't know how long he was lying there, but long enough for them to get out of sight. Because he gets up and the first thing he does is look, and they're long gone.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
And Baby Yoda's just sitting there like,
hello, I'm Baby Yoda. Hello. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the idea of this next scene because in several of the shots we see the outside and we get such a beautiful sense of scale that you just don't get with Star Wars ships ever, except Millennium Falcon. And it's like, damn, this ship is small. They went for a compact, neat. Love it.
But I love how you can see through the ship. Like there's panels missing. I was like, this thing will never be. He's gonna get a new ship. He's gonna get upgraded or something, because there's no way this thing's gonna fly again. Well, was I wrong? But anyway, he goes, checks his weapon locker. It's empty. And again, if it was me, there'd be a lot more swearing. Yeah. Even some kind of alien swear word would have been cool. But he just wanders around quietly. I wouldn't do that. I would be pissed.
Yep.
So I don't know. That was kind of a complaint of mine a little bit, but very minor.
Yeah, but he's stoic. Lots of characters just will react by not reacting. But again, how much are we losing out by not seeing his face? There might be some seething, but we don't get any of that. That's obviously the trick, is that you can't emote, so you've got to emote. But I like the scene. This is a nice, again, we'll let the scene breathe, we get to experience it, we get to, genuinely feel like, well, shit. And we have no idea how long they were ripping stuff out. I mean, I don't know how much you could rip out in a few hours.
Well, they're Jawas. There's many of them, and they each have a specialty. Yes. They probably go to different areas. I love how he goes up to the cockpit, and all his instrumentation is gone. It's not just panels off the side of the ship. It's like everything. He tries to fire up the engines, and it's not having it. No. I mean, I expected it to be able to fly, so that you could follow the sandcrawler, maybe. Just obviously not into space. But yeah, nothing. So.
Yeah.
And of course, he kind of feels defeated, sits down, and then there's a cute little Baby Yoda going, "It's gonna be okay."
His little almost gyro robes.
Yeah.
So obviously, all he's got left is his one friend in the galaxy, but luckily he made a friend. So he just walked 34 miles there. He's gonna walk another 38 miles the other way. But this makes you wonder, Stuart. What happened to the mount he was riding with his friend there? Why did he have to walk the entire way back across ground that apparently couldn't be traversed on foot? How did he get back in the first place?
Yeah, it's a good question.
They sort of ignore a lot of part one in this episode. Which
a little bit, yeah. And Ingen Ting is complaining about how he doesn't like Star Wars. Very uninteresting and overrated, in my opinion. All right, cool.
Okay.
Don't watch.
Yeah, we'll see you for the next Star Trek live.
Yeah.
I'm back to nighttime for some reason.
Well, yeah. Well, it took a while to get there. That's why.
Well, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I love how the guy doesn't even look down. He knows he's coming. Probably saw him on the horizon, but
yeah.
I thought you were dead.
Yeah.
And it's good. Jeff Jacobs puts in 251, 50 likes, again at 100. Hashtag Baby Yoda like spike. Hashtag make Jeff pay.
He's a cutie.
Yes.
But yes, do click like. That is legitimately important to help the algorithms on the YouTube are fickle mistress. Please do, please do.
Yeah. And we got Baby Yoda chasing a little frog, and then the other guy's like, well, is this what all the trouble was about? And a kid, basically. And then he says, well, if it's a child, maybe it's better that you return him alive. It's like, okay. But,
and we get
yeah.
Baby Yoda eating a little creature thing, which is it's capable of more than you think.
And explains why Yoda wanted to go to the swamp to Dagobah to live, because there's lots of those little frogs running around.
Well, there
probably.
You go. I like it.
Yeah.
That's good. I do appreciate how much this guy's willing to just help him, but he kind of needs someone who's just, unabashedly like, yeah, I'll be the good guy. I'll help, because he really needs that right now. Seriously.
Yeah, and he says the Jawas destroyed my ship. They don't destroy. They're Jawas. And the Mandalorian's like, destroy or whatever. It doesn't matter to me because I'm basically screwed either way. Well, we can trade with them. With Jawas, really?
Yeah. And it's like a little bit rich to trade for your own stuff that you own. It's like, I'll give you more things for things that I own. Great, cool. Great day.
Yeah. I don't know. I find it ironic that there's an R2 or an R5 unit there.
Oh, is there?
When they finally find them, because, there's a. It's like they had one of those on Tatooine. What are those? Just standard equipment. Nobody wants them. They all have bad motivators.
Yeah. Which frame is that in?
Well, as soon as they find them.
Sorry, Jawas.
rear
Right.
there.
Sorry, I thought you meant. Yes.
Oh, and, no. When they find the Jawas.
Yes. Yeah, they do. Well, that was a notoriously bad model that year.
Must have been.
So then there's a rainstorm on Desert Planet, despite it not affecting the greenery in the next scene. But an odd choice, really. But hey ho.
Well, it shows up in the next scene because when he goes to get the egg, it's all muddy. So.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Yeah, I just didn't. Yeah. Sure. This day I knew it was gonna be fun when we see the Jawas. I knew that was gonna be a good time. We don't really
he's
get
like, greetings. Go ahead.
Well, we don't really get their culture much. It was just, and this will be respectfully done, which was nice.
Yeah. I love how the Jawas are like, oh shit, it's that guy. They all pull their guns out.
Yeah.
And it's like, you have to put down your weapons. I'm a Mandalorian. Weapons are part of my religion.
It's a good line.
Well, you still got to do it. Fine. Like how he's not stubborn about it. He's just a regular guy who's trying to do what he has to do.
Yeah.
Which I like.
I was amazed how.
And even.
Yeah. And it was amazing though how the Jawas were able to deal with him, given he killed like 6 of them and shot their thing, and everyone was the bigger man here.
He says they don't seem to like you very much. Probably because I disintegrated some of them.
Yep. Good. I love he also speaks Jawa. That was a lovely little touch. You all speak Jawa. You speak Jawa this poorly. Like, shut up.
You sound like a Wookiee.
Yeah, love it. Yeah, some nice stuff there. Which definitely tells you they're multi planetary. Because why the hell would you learn the language of one?
Well, if you're a bounty hunter, I mean, their speciality is like trading for things and whatever, supplying what you need.
Yep.
So it would make sense, yeah.
I mean, you wouldn't fly to Tatooine just to barter with one race of Jawas. So
yeah, exactly.
That really adds on to them being multinational. And he has this little sit with them. And I mean, this is where the Jawa design kind of falls a little flat because they're so close. You can just see they're wearing a mask with 2 LEDs in. Like,
yeah,
it kind of falls apart. The mystery's gone because you can see there's nothing there. But hey ho, it's it's a 50-year-old thing with a relatively medium-low budget. They were clever. But at least they're canon. They didn't discover it by adding a black face underneath the mask that was all reflective. And it's like, no, just a black sheet's fine. It's correct.
I love how when they say you sound like a Wookiee, he's like, oh yeah, how does that sound? He uses his flamethrower. Yeah. It's like, that's still another weapon, man. I'm surprised the Jawas didn't don't want to deal with them at that point. They almost got roasted.
Yeah, there's weird chemistry in this scene. There really is. But hey, it's a fun scene. It's a fun scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, they want
And
the
then-
armor. And what can we trade? Well, his armor. Well, he can't go his armor. What else? The Yoda. No, not him. It's like, well, what else? There's nothing else. The egg. And they're all really happy about the idea of this egg.
Yes.
And he's like, oh, Jesus, the egg again. Oh, my God, why? Stop with the egg.
Mandalorian's like, egg? What? Yeah, and at this point, too, like, I didn't know, okay, the egg, what is this? Obviously, it's some large creature, whatever. Are they going to, like, take it, raise it, use it as a beast of burden to help them with their, lugging things around, maybe? But anyway, we're not going to spoil what happens to the egg yet. But they go on a quest for the egg. And I love how he doesn't fit in the cockpit of the...
Yep.
I mean, there's a lot more room in those things. I don't know why he's necessarily up there, but I guess to see where they're going so he can get back. But
well, I'm sure he doesn't trust them.
Yeah.
No, that was great. You think this being a big creature, I mean, big build, a big vehicle, and it's like, it bumps his head. It's like, well, yeah, of course it's really small. They're 1 foot. They're 1 meter. Which is that's great. It made me laugh out loud. It's like, oh, well, yeah, this is adorable. That must have sucked to get up there. It's great. It's good.
So he heads off and he takes Yoda with him. I was kind of like, you're taking Baby Yoda to do something really dangerous. Why not leave him with your buddy? But you don't really know him as,
And also, do you think
it's his bounty. His whole
Yeah.
thing is riding on that.
well,
so
this trip is worthless if he gets killed, captured, or whatever? Because at least this guy can sort of fight off if someone attacks him. What can the Ugnaught do if even 2
true.
Jawas try and attack him to take Yoda? He can't really do anything, can he? So
Yeah.
But yeah, it's risky.
Plus, if more assassins or bounty hunters come to try.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, I thought for a second the egg is this hover pram,
It is. It's like a bassinet, as we established,
But,
or a stroller.
but I mean, I thought they might be referring to that as the egg. I was like, oh no, they want Yoda
Oh.
because it looks
Oh.
like an egg almost, especially if you close it. I just
Oh.
thought,
Okay. Yeah.
It wasn't luckily.
Yeah. So before he goes in, he activates his gauntlets, does whatever he has to do, shuts off the Baby Yoda follow thing, which I'm glad they did because, he actually does something on his wrists, and that's what he did earlier with when he pushed Yoda out of. He pushes Yoda out of the way in a second, actually, but he's got a control on his wrist for that thing, so that's cool. Doesn't follow him in there. You can see it's muddy outside.
That was a good shout. And they love their silhouettes in the show, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
They want to show themselves.
Again, very westerny against the setting sun.
But I did think there was a lot of repeated elements in this from the last one that I thought it wasn't being as creatively satisfying. This one.
I really enjoyed this one.
Oh, I did too. But I'm saying I just didn't like another silhouette, another desert, and like it wasn't. That's why it felt to me like a part 2 that should have been one long 68-minute episode because it would have been it just continues. Is why yeah.
Now, the thing that I have a question about is the light on the side of his helmet. Does that actually come out of the side of the helmet? Because it looks like there's some kind of mechanism there that you see all the time. But I don't know if it was just attached, if it's magnetic, if it pops out of the helmet. I don't know. It's never shown how it deploys. It's just there. So
my guess is it's a magnetic thing. He just pulls out of the pocket. Got it. Because it's not on his head
sense.
normally. I don't always want to see, the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's surveying the area, sees some bones, sees this thing, and all of a sudden this eye opens.
Classic.
And we hear a bunch of blaster fire.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden he comes flying out, and his chest armor is right mangled. So he obviously got rammed with that huge horn and thrown out.
He does many times, and again it shows he's not invulnerable, and the armor is not designed to take on a massive beast of burden. It's just designed to take on. It's tactical armor. It's designed to take on tactical situations with a blaster, with creatures that can shoot at you, not, a 10-ton thing of bricks on your chest. That's gonna do things. I really like this slow, methodical looking at the ground. I thought that was, again, the sort of thing that you can't do in movies as much. We get one of these scenes, but we don't have a few of these already. It's nice, slow build. Yeah. Although I didn't like that the Will Stewart come back to us? Will he ever? Will he ever come back to us? Mr. Stewart, Mr. Stewart. Mr. Stewart. There he is.
I'm back.
Hello.
Yay.
Yay.
Hello.
We have 82 people watching, but only 60 likes.
Come on, guys.
And only about 3 super chats so far, or 4, which is, again, not very great, guys. So help us if you can, because this channel will die if people don't help support. It's unfortunate, but true. Not having a good week, not having a good month so far, so if you can, put a 5 in. It's a legitimate big deal. And what's happening to his internet? But I was saying, I usually didn't like the fact that the gun jammed because of mud. Didn't like that. It's too real-world gun-ish, and a lot of guns would still work with mud. Although obviously the design of this is much more real-world gun-like. But I like to see in general. Often you don't need to have. I'm just gonna call them back in a minute. Often you don't need to have a full CGI alien thing. They can be done kind of poorly. This was done, I think, better than most. But not the I don't know. Don't always need an epic alien. Oh. I'm guessing his thing crashed or something. Will call us back when he's ready. Fun times. Hello. Weird. If you guys have any questions or comments for me, I can address them while we wait for Stuart to be alive. What do you guys think of this episode? Did you enjoy it? Did you like it more or less than the last one? That's kind of the question. Are you still invested? Do you still wanna see more? That's the real question. Baby Yoda's used the Force. Stuart keeps timing out. Captain who? Sounds like a submarine. Lol. Canada's gone. It was in somewhat missed. Well, Stuart, you have the con. No, I'm Samuel. It was an awesome episode. It was 10. Commander, this is off topic. Any idea if you will ever have Tim Vine in the crew of the Star Trek Aurora on? No idea. I know Aurora has a ship. A ship in it. Stuart's internet is down. Yay! Stuart's internet is back, but with his phone, I'm sure.
I'm back.
Baby. Oh, okay.
There was a glitch in the network or something because our internet went down like completely for a minute or two. Do you know why? We were talking about likes and we didn't have enough likes. That's why.
True.
I can't see you.
Well, yeah, because I swapped to the live video. I'll call you back.
Okay.
And now it'll work. There's my face. No, there isn't. Where is it?
Ah, I can see you now. I didn't want to see you.
That's what I get every day, guys.
I only do it because I love them.
I know.
If I didn't like him, I wouldn't pick on him.
Although it's all being a bit screwy. Me doesn't exist yet currently.
I see you.
Yeah, well, no one else does.
Sorry for the interruption, guys. Technical difficulties.
Yeah.
Well, you might have to call me back.
Yeah, why don't you call me back? I'm going to restart Skype and you call me back in a second. Oh, probably should have said bye first. close Skype. And then, what's this? What is this? Send anywhere. What's that? Reopen Skype. And then that should work.
Yay.
Yay. Weird.
All right. Well, it's fixed now. So.
Yeah, weird.
All right. So Raj Hussain puts in £1.99. Here's my donation, as you guys are worth it. Well, thank you very much. We appreciate that so much.
Legitimately all makes a difference. And I mean, just the simple, like, $1. Like, it's literally, if you know, if you give $1, it tells us that you value us and you want to see more of our content. Like, we're not in it to make thousands of dollars, but just that small bit of interaction on that level shows, I actually really like you guys. And we're like, well, yeah, we want to do more. You know, if we only got one super chat in 2 hours, we'd be like, well, there's something wrong here. So, you know, we value the pure niceness of it as well.
You know what happened? I think the Jawas were stealing some equipment, and that's why the internet went down. Bastards. I have eggs in the fridge. I'll go get one and give them to him. It'll be fine. Ian Smith puts in $4.99. Hey, guys. Love your reviews of The Mandalorian. This is great Star Wars, and for me, better than anything since Return of the Jedi I have spoken.
He has spoken. And
I probably would agree with you.
It's again. I'll wait until we see if the payoff's good or not.
Yes.
So I just commented before that I didn't like the fact the gun jammed because of mud. I thought that was too real world. Like modern
could have been damaged too because it was on his back, I believe, when he flew out of the thing and he landed on it.
It needed a spark then or something. I think implied.
There's so many sparks in this episode, though. There's sparks on his chest plate now. There's sparks when he was fixing it. There was sparks when he was healing himself. There was sparks on his gauntlets. There was sparks when he landed on the ground after the Jawas zapped him.
Never enough sparks. Hashtag spark life spike. Like spike.
But Ian Warrender sent us $5 via PayPal, so thank you very much, Ian. Keep up the excellent work. Not seen it, but that's my fault for living on the wrong side of the pond. Well, yeah.
Well.
Thank you very much, regardless.
Yes.
All right, so we find out it is called a Mudhorn. Somebody asked if it was in Return of the Jedi. It wasn't. It was in one of the prequels, I believe.
Well, a similar creature was. I don't think it was the exact same thing, but certainly inspired from Mudhorn, though. That can't be. That's obviously indigenous lazy name because that's a crap name.
It seems to be, yeah. But the thing targets little baby Yoda and starts like running towards him, and he uses his like smartwatch and pushes him out of the way, which is great. Then it focuses back on him, and I love how at one point the thing actually like slams its horn into the ground like before it charges. I thought that was cool.
Oh, yeah, I noticed that.
And then he charges towards him. He throws his flamethrower on it, and it like pins him to the ground with his horn.
And it feels weighty. Like the feels weighty.
Yeah,
it's well done.
Absolutely. Then he hooks it with his grappling hook thing.
Not sure what he's trying to do there, to be honest.
I think it was his last resort. All his other weapons didn't do anything.
Wasn't a good last resort though.
But he starts getting dragged by it, and I guess it gets him on his feet again, kind of.
Sure.
But then he gets knocked down again. His eyesight starts to go blurry. Little baby Yoda's like hiding in his little thing. And then, this is where it like slams the ground with its horn before it charges. And all he's got left is his knife. And I love how he like holds up his knife and like puts his head down, like. But it doesn't actually end up hitting him. Because these little fingers. Notice how Yoda has 3 fingers like this?
Apparently.
Saying.
Yeah.
And it levitates and it's trying to run forward. It's like complaining.
It's complaining.
And you look over at baby Yoda and he like passes out.
In a very cute way.
Yes, yes. And it must have been like the force acting on the like pushing on the creature because it doesn't just hit the ground and start running again. It kind of like is discombobulated,
Mm-hmm.
and then he gets a knife in the side of the head, which for some
Mm.
reason kills him. And then it gets pushed in and twisted even more, just to drive the point home. Ha ha!
Way!
See,
No,
that's where that expression came from.
oh dear. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. I mean, we all saw it sort of coming in a sense. I assume this is the big reveal you were talking about earlier.
Yes, yes.
It's not
Which
really a reveal. It's more of a yeah.
the fact that something so little could have that much of control over the force is not expected. I expect these little things to happen. You know.
But Stuart, that was the entire point of Empire Strikes Back, of Yoda teaching him that it doesn't matter on size matters not. That was the entire point, Stuart. So why would a smaller
It's true.
Yoda be able to do even less? Obviously, the implication is that he has innate powers beyond where he should be
Mm.
able to. He can knows how to do it sort of in a genetic sense or a sense, but obviously it takes so much out of him because his body is not actually ready for that. He's not grown to the point where to harness it and use it. Is the implication there? But I love the scene mostly for how Mandalorian deals with it, with the knife and embracing death almost, but still doing everything he can, which is basically nothing. But I think the framing
Yeah.
is pretty cool there.
Can Can you do me a favor and check PayPal? Apparently, we have another one, but it's not coming up on my email
I
list.
can go into the PayPal, not the email. Also, your video is frozen.
Yes, it is. That's why my phone is not updating. I'm going to change to the network and try that.
Oh wow, Douglas
Anyway,
Aldi, $25.
ooh, thank
Very
you very
very
much.
kind. But I
Is there a
don't.
message?
No, there isn't. Crazy man.
Hmm.
Well, please say something in the chat,
Well,
and we'd obviously love to read that out. But thank you, very kind.
thank you.
Cypher Commander, force trading matters not. Yes.
I think it's just raw instinctual
Yep.
power at this point.
Yep.
And it has to be focused, and that way he doesn't pass out when he uses it.
Mm-hmm.
You know. Um,
But I like the knife. I like the symbology of the knife. Yeah, it's yeah. The fact he stabs it though and kills it is dumb.
a little bit,
I
yeah.
was kind of hoping it would run away. Like the man doesn't need to kill it to be win. It just needs to feel so like, oh, I hate the force. I'll run away. That's all it needed. Yeah.
Or it would have been good if it was levitating, and then when Baby Yoda passed out, it fell and like landed on its neck, snapped its neck. So it was still alive,
Oh
but
sure.
couldn't move, and so he put it out of its
Jesus.
misery.
Yeah.
Something like that. It just didn't make a lot of sense the way it was presented, but that's okay.
It didn't play that great. Small thing, but yeah.
Yeah.
And then more and then
More sparking.
more sparking, more silhouettes. And it's like, oh, the baby Yoda's asleep. He's so sleepy. He's asleep.
Yeah. And then we find the egg, which looks like it's covered with wool.
Yeah.
Like, it's disgusting, but whatever.
Yeah, it's not great.
No, and I'm like the whole time thinking, what are they going to do with this egg? Are they going to take it in and raise it? Like, is this an animal they can domesticate and use to help them?
Hmm.
Yeah, not so much.
I
Anyway, we see
I
here.
assumed some disgusting eating straight away. I was like, yeah, they're just gonna.
I didn't.
Yeah, it's a weird eating thing.
Yeah. But here they're getting ready to leave, and he's like, just wait a while longer. But you can see here too, it had rained because there's mud everywhere here as well, which
Didn't catch on first
good.
viewing, so I like it.
Fine, go without me. And then all of a sudden, hey, Mando.
Literally, that's what he says.
Yeah, so it can't be like a slur. A lot of people assumed it was like a slur to say Mando, because the guy in the bar uses it originally, which would imply it's not really a great term. But yeah, he hands over the egg, and Utini. They lift it up, and they're all happy. And then the one guy slices it open, and it's bright yellow inside, and they all start being disgusting. And it's stringy and gross.
It's very visceral, isn't it?
Oh yes, yes. And I love how the Mandalorian just like shakes his head and like walks away. Like I did all this just so you guys could do that. You're not even frying it in a nice big frying pan, and you know.
Making hard-boiled egg that you can all just like bury your face in. Going, Why I like this scene especially is because you get to see the opening to the Jawa sandcrawler. Because in several video games, I've walked up a Jawa sandcrawler, I've had that experience. But in the film, we never get to see his perspective. So I liked seeing it from that because it was very familiar to me. And the egg was I saw it coming. It's kind of, I got the sense, not sure where I get it from, but it's kind of like the most delicate, like special, amazing. It's like an aphrodisiac, like a drug, like cocaine. It's like fresh cannabis cocaine. That how often do they have to kill this creature? Well, once every generation they manage to trade and get someone to kill one, and then they get their sweet, sweet nectar shit. That sort of like special vibe I got.
Yeah, I'd buy that.
Yeah.
I'd buy that for $1.
Or for all of your stuff back.
Yes.
And it's comically done, which I like. All the stuff.
Yeah.
Hello? Hello? Oh dear.
Mm-hmm.
Oh dear. Stuart, are you there?
I'm here.
Oh, hi Stuart.
Yes, I am. I hear you. I see you.
Go for it then. Next bit.
Yeah, the internet's not great. All right, cool. So the Blurg is pulling all back the Mandalorian and all of his junk. And this is where they're talking about, explain to me what happened. I just don't understand. And the Mandalorian's like, I don't even understand. And he, was it hurt? And Mandalorian reaches over and touches the stroller bassinet thing and says, not physically. So, good scene. But I love how they're both like, I don't understand what happened. So did they assume it was the Force, or did they not know about the Force?
Well, they know about the Force.
We were having this talk when you were MIA earlier. And like how many people do you run into with the Force, or did they just not expect it from something so little, is my assumption.
Well, I mean, that's one of the big stupid things of the new trilogy that JJ and Rian Johnson just don't understand at all. You don't tend to forget things that your parents lived with on a daily basis. Yeah. It's like
it's 30 years ago. It's like a legend all of a sudden. There's still people alive that were around at the time, right?
All of your parents either fought or felt the Clone Wars. All of them knew about the Jedi generals and the and the clones killing all the Jedi. Like, this is absolutely galactic news. It was pathetic that they just stupid people. They're just not good filmmakers in a lot of ways. And so these guys, the way I took it was, I mean, they've never seen Yoda's race. Why would they? So they see a creature. There's no reason to link it to the Force, and they think baby. They think So yeah, they know it's the Force, but they're like, this is weird. It's a creature that isn't able to really communicate. There's a baby. How's it doing these cool things? I always thought Jedi had to be old, wise people that I murdered occasionally. So yeah, the surprise factor.
Yeah, and the Jedi Order had maintained peace throughout the galaxy for like 1,000 years, so they would, of course,
1,000 generations.
1,000 generations, yes. Stephen W. Fathry, though, puts in $2.
Hey.
They look like poo eating honey out of a honeypot. That's exactly what it looked like. That was a Disney reference right there.
Love it.
It's good.
Well done.
So they get back to the ship, and it looks like shit.
But good-looking shit. Like, I love the 3D model they've done for this. It's great.
Yeah. The Mandalorian's like, we're going to need a complete maintenance facility to get this thing overhauled. And yeah, he's like, well, if you want to help, we can do it pretty quick. I found it kind of odd that he had the know-how to actually do all this, but he's an ugnut, I guess. So I guess that's a thing.
Well, it was implied by someone in our last chat that this is a very like old, well-known ship. This isn't like special, cool ship. It's just like an old ship. It's obviously not a big ship. I'm sure the Argonaut knows the company that made it in some sense. So it probably runs on basics.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found it weird they could fix it. I kind of want them to say 1 week later, like it took a long
Yeah.
time, because it kind of senses maybe 2 nights, 2 days. More than
I don't even get that. In the
oh,
montage, it seems like it's just overnight.
but I can't believe that.
I know, but there should have been like a night scene, then a day scene, then a night scene,
Yeah.
just to show the passage of time. Instead, we get like an A-team like montage
Yep.
of, modding out a truck.
Yep.
It's like,
Because
I mean, it's well done. It's just, I think it's rather rushed.
yeah, it would have been. I mean, it would've been, come on, guys, add the 10 minutes you're missing. Cut back today. Just have them having a chat over lunch,
Yeah, exactly.
and then cut back. Like that's all you really need. It's a cheap scene. Because this ship is. I mean, although I say it looks really wrecked, but since we can see the inside, I mean, the hull plating is this thin. I guess it's so strong it has to be a single plate. So I guess riveting back a plate is all it needs. I mean, it looks gone, but really, maybe. I mean, would the Jawas? I guess the question is, would Jawas actually burn off, rip out, destroy elements, which they say they don't do, or just take away components that could just be like disassembled, like a power converter, unscrew it, pull it out. Great, you've got a piece. So you have to put it back in. Is it more like what I mean, easily to take awayable parts, or physically?
I think so.
Yeah.
Because he made the point of saying they don't destroy things, and you see wires and stuff hanging down, but those are just wiring harnesses. So if it's attached to the module you need, we just slice it, and it's easy enough to reconnect that.
Yeah.
But yeah, the outer hull of the ship was it was what concerned me, because it's got to be space worthy. No way to test it until you get up into space, unless there's a structural integrity thing on the computer, which I'm sure there is, but whatever.
Yeah. If you look at what they were carrying, there's not a lot of stuff. Really?
No, well, there's a lot of stuff left on the ground though, because he interrupted the Jawas, so there was shit all over the ground too.
Like big stuff as well.
Yes. If you go back to right after the Jawas start taking off, there's a lot of stuff left on the ground. So I assume that they were parting it out, and then they start getting vaporized, so they decided to run.
Well, it's true. But it does feel a bit rushed. Needed an extra something.
It does.
For sure.
Mazarus puts in $5 though. The ship in disassembled configuration will sell more model variations or encourage kit bashes. Absolutely, it will. I guarantee you, at Wonderfest this year, we're going to see the Mandalorian ship diorama with parts all over the place and the holes in it, and I guarantee you, I'll see that there.
And a little thing of powder, and people will ask, well, "What's that?" Oh, that's a Jawa corpse. What? Yeah, it's Jawa dust. Do you want some? I'm selling it. Just like, what? Creepy. Yes. No, it's fun. Yeah, no, it's good things. Good things.
But the computers are up and running. I like his user interface. I think that's cool. You see a little ship in the bottom left-hand corner there from the front. Very neat. Very neat. And he's wandering around inspecting it and fires up the engines, and everything seems to be good. But I just thought it was rather quickly done, a little bit too much so.
Considering he said how difficult it would be, and then it was undone, difficultiness like that.
Or even, to add that 10 minutes, get it flight worthy. Fly it to the Ugnaughts ranch or farm.
There you go.
Because there would be a lot more parts and tools there.
I like that.
And then continue from there, and then take off from there. I think that would have made a lot more sense.
That was a good shout. Well, it would have been kind of cool if, like, he's flying it and there's a joke saying, can I fly any faster? No, I really can't. It'll fall apart. Okay, then.
And all of a sudden a piece flies off.
Yeah, but it's just like literally it's going, like it's going so slow. That'd be great.
Just above the ground, yeah.
Yeah. Because he's riding on, like he's actually riding on the beast. Like, go faster. I can't. Okay, I'll meet you there. And he just goes faster. That'd be great. I mean, it's a bit too much comedy probably. But that, they missed a trick there for sure. I gotta say, personally, I didn't like the fact these engines were just turbines. That again felt too real, too modern. Felt a bit out of the way for me.
I never considered that, but you're right. I mean, turbines are designed for an atmosphere. You don't see another set of engines on it. Perhaps they're combined with the ion engines or whatever they use. I don't know.
Yeah. So compared to an X-wing or a Y-wing, all the other fighters that have engines, you don't see I know there's sort of a turbine at the front, but it's static. It's just tech.
Yeah.
So I didn't like that per se. I would have preferred like energy ring that turns on or something more sci-fi. But that, I mean, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, but then it's all put together, and he says, I want to offer you part of the reward. You've earned it."
Again, keeps offering him.
Yeah, and he's like, "Nope, you are my guest. It's my responsibility to take care of you and help you." And then he offers him a job, which I was like, "Yes, I love this character. I want him to come along." He's like, "Well, no, I've spent too much of my to help you."
Say again, Stuart.
Did I cut off there? I think I did.
You did. Sorry, Stuart.
Yeah. So he offers him a partnership. He says, "Somebody like you could be helpful," and absolutely could be, considering what just happened. And he's like, no, I've spent too much of my life trying to get out of servitude to, join you. And he's like, okay, I understand that. Bye. I have spoken. So it was good.
I love that little bit. It gave so much fun clarity to that.
I just hope we see this guy again. I don't want him to be gone from the series.
No, I feel like you're gonna have to. They've. But okay, what this really says to me though is Maz Kanata, 2 films, more screen time, well, at least more lines. Who's a better character?
Well, hands down, this guy.
Hands down, this guy with half as many lines, and half as much money to make, because that was a motion captured, expensive CGI person. This person has what, 30 lines, 40. Mars had 40 in her first scene, and this is an infinitely better character that you need to see again. And Mars, I could not give 2 shits unless they completely rewrite it differently, but that would be ruining the character. So well done, this character. Well done the performance. Well done the dude in the suit. Well done the guys that controlled the face. And I think we'll see him again. I just love the context of I'm retired. I worked a long time so I can retire. This was fun. I fixed your ship. Cool. Let me retire. I'm on my 30-year break, mate. Thanks. But what a guy. What a lad, What a lad.
Yeah. But yeah, then the Mandalorian gets in the ship. He pushes Baby Yoda over to the thing. Fires everything up.
Very Firefly
and takes off. Oh, yes. Absolutely. Takes off, gets to orbit, checks back on Baby Yoda. Still sleeping, so he faces forward, and then I'll see Baby Yoda wake up and sit up. And then flies off into the sunset.
I was waiting for a hyperspace jump, but didn't get one.
I was too. We haven't seen any of them yet. So I don't even know if the ship has hyperdrive. Would hope it does.
Yeah, it is true. And I'm wondering if maybe Baby Yoda was alerted by the sense that now he's back thinking I'm going to sell him or something, like some sort of emotion help bring him out of his sort of state. I don't know. It was a weird end. It was a very sort of okay, next episode. Because this isn't... Okay, yep. Can I get my 6 more minutes, please? That you promised? No? Okay. Not you promised, obviously, but yeah.
No, I hear you. I really enjoyed this episode.
Yeah.
Do you have any more notes you need to cover?
I mean, it's just funny that I've obviously only wrote those once and then didn't think about them until I've reread them. It's fine to see what I've said again. Wow, fixed. Hefty jigsaw puzzle with a ship.
Yeah. I made no notes for this episode. That's how little dialogue there was. You could tell everything from the story from the pictures. And I watched it 4 times because I do love these.
Oh, wow.
And they're short. So, yeah. Anyway, I watched it the first time. Then I watched it with Sylvia. Then I had to get screen caps and, stuff like that. So I watched it quite a few times.
It's definitely a fun watch. I mean, it's visually great. It's got good vibes, it's got a good pace. It's got a character that's building that gives you just enough. How do you give a character with no character a character? Well, you build up
a character.
But you build up slowly.
Yeah.
No, it was good. It was a good episode. But yeah, I guess there you go, guys. So now is your chance to super chat your review scores out of 10, both for Star Wars overall for Mandalorian Season 1, for Mandalorian Season 2, for TNG Season 2, and anything else in between. Let us know what you think. And like I said, do super chat. Last few, we'd love to make another $20 would be great. Would be really would be helpful. But Stuart, talk to us about then your sort of review, your final big review.
As I said, this felt very much like a side quest. Like in the whole grand scheme of things, once the season's done, you could take this whole episode out, and you wouldn't even notice, because there's everything that happened in this was kind of like but yet so much happened. There was like 3 different things. You know, he finds a ship destroyed. He has to go off to the Jawas. Then he has to do the egg bust. Then they have to put the ship back together. So there's 3 main parts to this thing, and it worked really well. I really enjoyed that kind of the episode. I hated that it was so short, and I hated that the dude stayed on the planet because I really like that guy. I want to see more of him. But overall, I mean, seeing more of the Jawas, you got another creature. You got to see him get his ass handed to him multiple times. Shows that the character is not just an invincible killing machine or a mercenary or whatever. He's just a regular guy dealing with problems, getting through them the best he can, and having some good friends, which actually helps him out. So,
well, and the fact and the fact that he wanted the guy to go with him shows he's open to growth, because you really get the sense he works alone. That was a distinct vibe from episode 1. So that shows a lot, actually.
Yeah, and of course the Baby Yoda stuff with the Force using and just the cuteness overload. He ate a frog and then smiled about it. It was awesome. So lots going on in this episode. So for me, it was super entertaining, super enjoyable. I really like this one. That's why I like it a little bit better than the first one. I mean, the first one was fantastic, but this one I just enjoyed this one a little bit more. So I'm going to have to give it a 9.5 out of 10 for Mandalorian. I don't know what I gave the last one. I think I gave it a 9, but really enjoyed this one. Out of all Star Wars, I mean, again, it's too soon to really rank it because we want to see the end before we can place it in between the movies and, you know, as far as favorites go. But it's definitely up there with the original trilogy. So, I mean, that's where I stand with that. So, and for rewatchability and enjoyment, it's 10 for me. I really enjoyed it. So.
We'll put you on, huh?
Who in the what now?
Sorry, it's late in the evening. Yeah, no, like I said, this one I think is good. I really enjoyed watching it. There's a lot of nice things to look at. It's very much the New Hope. I don't think that until you point out it's as good as the original trilogy, because I mean it is the desert planet first chapter, in the sense of first book, you know, first book within a book series of this is the quest line. So you get a lot of those visuals, but it does still film in new ways and interesting visual ways. It is not for the sake of it. There's a you know, it feels like there's a reason for the desert so you can get cool shots and get a vibe and feel the desolateness. I mean, there's reasons for this. It could have been an ice planet, could have been, you know, whatever. The story is obviously very thin, but it's a build. And I really like a build because then you get this massive great payoff. You know, whereas things like the Last Jedi, where it's theoretically a build of the slow chase, but really it's just a meandering 2 out of 10 slow. Oh, we end. Who the hell cares? This is the Baby Yoda stuff is all great. It's intriguing, and while I don't want to know anything about Yoda's species, I like the mystery. There's clearly the cloney stuff that we know about. It's gonna be intriguing, and intriguing is good because Dave Filoni and stuff is good at intriguing. So yeah, it's good. I don't think it's as good as part 1. But that's because it's not as broad. But it's a great part 2. And I think this will be a really good binge series. I could watch all 10 parts in one, 4-hour movie would be absolutely great. Score-wise, I think this one for me... Hoping Stuart's okay.
I'm still here.
Okay.
Just dealing with some dog issues.
Ah, yes, the dogs.
Ripping apart her toy, and she's going to start eating the little plastic parts of it.
Dear. Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
Rough.
Anyway, sorry about that. Continue. Your score.
I would say it's an 8 out of 10 for me. It needed like something else, one other bit to it, but it's still 8 out of 10 solid. Just wasn't a home run. So yeah, out of the two, it's the lesser of the two, but it definitely beats The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi. I think its weaknesses are a lack of dialogue. This one especially, lack of dialogue, did not do service. and the fact that a lot of stuff was just the same from the first episode. Now, also, it makes the budget easier because it means you're seeing the same sets, the same, you know what I mean? It makes the budget more... This one felt a lot cheaper to me, a lot cheaper than the first one. Wasn't a bad thing. Again, cleverly done cheap is good. But for that, like I said, this is sort of part 1, part 2 of book 1. 8 out of 10, better than most of the other Star Wars stuff recently. I'm excited for part 3. And do we know when that is? I assume it's this week?
Friday. It's on Friday. Yeah.
It's on Friday,
22nd.
which is not great for us. But hey ho. Hey ho.
Yeah, we'll do the reviews on Monday. It's fine.
Okie doke.
I mean, that's probably the best way to do it. Michael Parker puts in $5.
Thanks.
I highly recommend watching in 4K. LED preferably. There you go. Probably brighten it up, hopefully. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, it's too dark for sure. Let's see. We got some 9 out of 10 from Jeff. 9 out of 10. 13 out of 10 for Star Wars the last 5 years. 10, even though I haven't saw it yet, says Curtis.
Oh, wow, that's impressive then.
9.4 out of 10.
Ooh.
2 out of 10. Lack diversity and representation. Wow. 10. 9 would be a 10 if no one killed the giant rhino. Episode is a 10. 8 out of 10. 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10. It's a 10. Wow. You have spoken. All of you.
And Tulupa, sorry. The lack of dialogue makes it seem more artsy and even like an indie short film. That's great.
Well, yeah,
cool.
it's like the spaghetti westerns with Clint Eastwood. There's not a lot of dialogue in those. It's the man with no name is what those movies are about. And most of the dialogue is actually dubbed in anyway because they were spaghetti westerns. They were filmed in Italy, and only the main actors knew English.
Love it.
All the other actors were like fed their lines, said them horribly, and so usually they were dubbed over or whatever. So they said them phonetically, and that's not a great way to do dialogue. So
love that.
That's why there's not a lot of talking in the spaghetti westerns, but they're so impactful that way. So
I love that. That's great. But Bill Barker asked me a specific question. Did you watch The War of the Worlds on BBC One on Sunday night there? Well, A, I was away, but B, no, I haven't got any particular interest. The trailer looked boring, dull, not particularly interesting, and I don't have any particular connection to the franchise. I love the Tom Cruise movie. It really affected me as a child or teen. I went into it not knowing what it was at all, and seeing everyone getting killed horribly, and then the vibe it created really affected me, and I really enjoyed it. I haven't had to watch it since, but I will. It comes out in 4K. But didn't particularly interest me. I mean, I feel like I've seen it. That
being said, I have to see it because I'm a huge War of the Worlds fan. I love the Orson Welles radio drama and the book, and I've read some others like modernizations of it. So I am looking forward to it 100%. Yes.
But I hear it's pretty poor for its budget or lack thereof.
Oh, really?
But it clearly does. It clears like it's 1/10 of the budget it should have been given, considering the massive subject matter. So I'm glad I didn't, I guess. But again, it doesn't. I mean, is it meant to? Was it set in the? It's a period one, isn't it?
Yeah, it was originally set in the Victorian era.
Yeah, but I mean the new one is. I mean, Carlisle's in it. Robert Carlyle, which is great. But I mean, I've got better things to watch. No offense. Like I've got this much. I have so much work to do. I've got this much time to watch stuff.
Yeah. Well, that's fair.
I watched the movie again though. We'll review that.
I will watch it though at some point and maybe do a live about it because I love the subject matter. So
it's a brilliant concept. I'll give you that. I love the idea of the concept.
Yeah. Michael Parker puts in $5.
Oh, thank you.
What are the chances that Boba Fett makes an actual cameo in the season's finale? I give it an 8.5. I mean, I wouldn't put it past them to do it if it was just a Disney movie, but since it's Favreau and people that really appreciate the franchise, I don't think they would do that. It cheapens it for me. Not everything in a certain universe has to be tied to something else in that universe. They overdo that to the nines. This character knows this character, and this character. It's a big universe, guys. You don't have to have anybody else in it that you know.
It's like, yeah, it doesn't need to be Yoda's clone. It can just be DNA from the creature, doesn't it? I would say it's more likely than it could have been. I mean, they were saying they were going to do a Boba Fett movie, right? That was a concept actually on the production cards. Then it got cancelled when The Last Jedi just bombed horribly. I think this is the only medium you could put him in and make sense. At the end, he comes in and the lady who we saw earlier on is like, "Ah, great, Fetch, you're back." And this guy's like, "How'd it go?" He's like, "Good,"
Or there could be a real hassle between the Mandalorian clans and this guy that's not actually a Mandalorian.
Yeah. So
I just want to address something real quick before you finish. Teppo says Boba died. Yes, he did. Technically, he went in the Sarlacc pit, but at the same time, many different forms of media, both novels, comics, whatever, show him escaping or being spit out of the Sarlacc pit and surviving.
Yep.
So no issue with him coming back.
It's one of the most done side universe things. So this is what I mean. They might bring him back as a fun reveal. It's like Darth Maul. In lots of forms of media, he was not killed. He was brought back, and they made it canon in Solo as a fun reveal, which I think worked reasonably well. Weird, but worked. It would lead to a better sequel if, you know what I mean. The sequel promise was there. So I think Boba appearing would be like, oh, it's now finally canon. Yay! Sort of thing. And you get the same actor that played Boba back in the day to reprise, maybe. Just say he didn't age. I don't know, whatever. You can do what you want. But, yeah. There's a way of doing it. It can't be as gimmicky if it's a Mandalorian show. It's not a gimmick, is it, at that point? It's just a thing. Yeah. Like having be the leader of this clan would be fine. Why not? But give us a like, say he burned half his body in the Sarlacc acids. Like he's legitimately really injured. And then one of the versions, Dengar, who's one of the other bounty hunters, actually saved him, helped get him out, and that was quite a big thing. And they became a better duo for. And there's actually really good books actually. There's a couple with them, actually pretty damn good. Fleshes out the character with no character.
Yeah, I remember having a comic when I was a kid that ended with you see the Sarlacc pit and you see this, and then it burps, and then the next page is just him lying in the sand, covered with sand, and then all of a sudden there's like a little voice bubble above his head or something with like a ... So he's like alive. I never got the next comic, but I remember that from when I was a kid. That's something that sticks in my head visually. So.
Yeah,
so
that's what I mean.
I wouldn't mind seeing them, but at the same time, I think it might cheapen it a little bit unless it's done really well.
Yeah, for a very specific narrative reason.
Yeah,
really specific and really necessary. Yeah, only that. It's the sort of thing that we'd say, oh, of course they would, but we sort of don't think they would until they do it. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, if they do, people are going to be pissed, and if they don't, people are going to be pissed. So either way, they're damned if they do, they're damned if they don't. I think the one guy we got in the darkness that sort of resembled Boba Fett is the closest we're going to get to Boba Fett, personally. That's what I'm hoping. So, like, was that him? Oh, we don't know. It could have been. Do you guys want it to be him? Because then yes. But if you don't want it to be him, then no, it wasn't. Either way.
Yay! No, it's but if there is cloning stuff going on, then it might be fun to include him. Maybe he's the other faction. He thinks all clones should be killed because of what they did to the galaxy. He thinks his dad is responsible. I mean, there is fun things you could do with that, very literally. And obviously the actor who played him would, but obviously he's way too young to play the part at this point because he was, he ages like a human, but it's been too many years in their universe to our universe. It's for like 30, 40 years, but he's only 10 years older than a child, so he's, in his 20s and the guy should be in his 50s. But, whatever.
Yeah. Well, there you go, guys. That is our review.
Good stuff.
Really enjoyed it. And if you haven't seen it yet, see it. And if you haven't seen it, why'd you watch the spoilers? And if you did, who cares? You loved it. You will love it. Watch it.
And someone asked us a while ago. I'm sorry, I didn't remember who, but will this be released on physical media, or is it always going to be an exclusive? Because I would absolutely buy a 4K Blu-ray of this season.
That's what I was thinking after episode 1. I'm like, I would buy this. Already, they had me hooked.
Let me support you with money and let me see it in 4K with because if it's streaming, the quality difference of, I mean, Game of Thrones. If you remember the episode where I didn't watch Game of Thrones, did you?
No.
But there was one where it was incredibly dark and it was going to be a cinematic choice, but it actively hurt the viewing because obviously everyone the day of watches it. I watched it later because I was a little bit delayed, and everyone streaming it, the systems were so overloaded that the bit rate was so low for a lot of people, which meant it was all, crumbly and bitty, and it's like the black was, there weren't many shades of black because there were pixels, so you couldn't enjoy it because it was dead. But obviously the guy pointed out, yeah, that was the one day you're watching it on the streaming service. You buy it on the Blu-ray, it's crystal clear, it's designed for, that's not our fault, you just watched it a shitty time. It's like, well, yeah, fine, but, that was the first run. So this, if you can only ever see Mandalorian on streaming service, then it's only as good as your streaming quality of your internet.
Yeah.
Whereas I want the 4K with the absolute best.
I agree. I would love it in physical media, and for all the behind the scenes stuff, especially.
I mean, you need that.
I want to see the making of this for sure. Bill Barkley asks, "Yep, great video, guys. When is Stuart doing Fallen Order next? Maybe tonight. We'll see."
Are you enjoying it?
Great game. Yeah, absolutely, I am. I can't play it though without streaming it though, because I promised you guys I wouldn't. So it's like I can't play it when I have time. That's okay. And last night I was going to stream it, and then I decided to watch Man in the High Castle season 4, which just came out, and I watched 5 episodes in one night, and there's only like 6 more, so I'll probably watch all of those tonight. It's such a great series.
So you're happy with yourself, then, are you?
Yes.
Good.
So I'll probably won't watch 6 episodes tonight. I'll probably play Fallen Order for an hour and a half, then watch maybe 2 or 3 episodes of.
So you'll control your habit by actively creating content on YouTube.
Yes.
What a world we live in. Well, glad you're enjoying it. And when's our next live then, Stuart? 'Cause I have Tuesday and Wednesday, and then and Thursday, I suppose. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and I'm off on Friday again. So when are you next free to do our next live?
Tuesday and Thursday. I can absolutely not do Wednesday. And
okay.
Friday's probably good that you can't, because I can't either. So
okay, we'll see you
Tuesday
tomorrow.
and Thursday, and tomorrow will probably be a TNG review.
I hope so.
There you
Good
go.
stuff. All right, we'll see you tomorrow for TNG. So tune in. Thanks much, and say bye, Stuart.
Bye, Stuart.